Hello everyone and welcome to SharePoint Power Hour. I'm Laura Rogers and I have Joelle
Joelle Johnson.
and you can actually
Hey.
see her. Power Hour is a show that we do Wednesdays at most Wednesdays at 11 Central, and we are streaming live. And since live, you never know what's going to happen. We've been doing this for 6 or 7 years, and it's all about things you can do in Office 365, Microsoft 365, SharePoint, just Power Apps, Power Automate, all these tools without being a programmer, without having to know code, and without necessarily we don't cover any really hardcore admin stuff. So, lighter topics. So, I send out a newsletter before Power Hour, and you all vote on your topics. So, this week you all voted on bookmarks in search, and specifically, I wanted to show you the ability to create a bookmark that has a link to a Power App that has a Power App embedded in it, which is very cool. So, we have chat going on live. We used to use Slack, and the more and more people over time were saying we needed to use Teams for that, so we have moved to Teams. So let me go ahead and show you real quick in Teams how you can get to it. So if once you've filled out the form that you see in your in the description for this video, once you fill out the form, then you're going to have you're going to be invited to Teams. So I have to manually invite everybody to the team. So once you get invited though, and you go to, I'll show you, you go to Teams, you're going to have like your tenant at the top where you can toggle between tenants once we've invited you. And then you're going to be able to toggle back to, you're going to see a little drop down, and you're going to be able to toggle back to Power Hour. So that's how you can get over to, once we've invited you, once you're in Teams, that's how you can get back here next time. So let me close that. And then once you're in there,
I don't think your screen is showing.
it's not? Oh, did I switch it
Unless
back again? Okay, hold on.
there you go. Now
So
it is.
I'll just go ahead and I'll start from here.
I was waiting to see if it was on YouTube.
So yeah,
Not
I
with
think
me.
it took a minute. So up at the top right next to your name, so I've got right up here next to your name, it'll say the name of your tenant in like a little drop down box. See way up here at the top right. And then when you do the drop down box, it'll say IW Mentor Power Hour, and you toggle over to that, and that will take you over to Power Hour, over to this tenant. And then in the Power Hour little, team here, move this so you can see it better. See, we're in the general channel here, but each time we have a Power Hour, I've been posting them across the top. So we have, and since I squeezed this down, it's not showing. There it is. So now we have Power Hour 1014. So when you go to that, this little conversation is not going to be expanded automatically. So when you go to Power Hour, you can push play and you can see the live Power Hour here in the window. But when you click this little chat, that's what shows, and that's everybody talking about what we're doing today. So you can watch the show live and chat right next to it. It's pretty cool. And then I also just in the main general channel, I put, when you click on this, when I added the tab at the top, when you click on it, it actually takes you to that tab. So as long as you click the little toggle, so we're learning Teams, right? Everybody's learning how to use Teams. You can have all these cool contextual chats in Teams. So that's how you can get that. So hopefully everybody filled out the form, got invited. If you fill out the form during Power Hour, you'll get invited probably after Power Hour. But that's where you can chat. So everybody say hi, roll call. Hello all. And then we'll get going. All right, so our topic today was prompted by Bill Bear, and I put a link in the general channel for that. Bill Bear works at Microsoft, and he used to be on the SharePoint team, but he is on he's on search now. So he wrote this blog post, and hopefully you can see that, that I put a link in the chat too. And it's blog.wbaer.net. And he wrote this blog post called "Should I Stay or Should I Go? Bookmarks versus Promoted Results." And bookmarks are promoted results are the old thing that you used to have in older versions of SharePoint. Bookmarks are the new thing, the modern thing that we're using, and that the bookmarks are we're talking about in Power Hour. So Joelle, back in the old days, did you ever have to use promoted results when you were setting up SharePoint environments? What did people
all the
use
time.
those for?
Typically, they would use them for like an example would be if they have policies that are like kind of spread out. They're using a content type of policies. They're kind of spread out all over their environment. They would use a promoted result to kind of, when somebody types in the word policy, it would put like something at the top, like a block at the top that would just be that content type. So it kind of pull that content up a little bit higher above everything else and make it more relevant.
Oh, okay. So when people are searching for things just in your own SharePoint and your tenant, now they're searching for things everywhere, and they have that search box at the top of everything, Teams and SharePoint and everywhere, wherever they're searching it from. And in your company, if you want them to see a certain thing, when they search for a certain thing, then you're going to have that at the top. Okay, so it used to be called, it was promoted results, which is why his blog post says bookmarks versus promoted results, and he's basically talking about how awesome bookmarks are. I'm not going to read his blog post to you or anything, but he's got a huge list of all the things that are supported, promoted results versus bookmarks. And bookmarks has got a lot of more Y's in the column as to things that it supports. And then he even shows you how to create bookmarks and goes into some details. But there's also a link in here to the actual Microsoft documentation, that I also put that in the chat, of the actual instructions on how to get there in the admin center and everything. That's what we'll be going over. So that's what I'll be demoing. All right, so I've gone into my SharePoint tenant, and let me pull up my site here. So I've got just a generic SharePoint site here, and I'll show you what this bookmark looks like and what the result of what I did looks like, and then you can see, and then I'll show you how I built it. So I'm going to search, I want to find my company store because I want to order some staples or something. So I type store, and then look at that. Oh, it wasn't broken a minute ago when I was testing it out. It shows it's like it's opening this app in this little window. Oh, so now it opens. I think I just left the screen sitting there for so long, the Power App timed out. But now you can see that this is my Power App. This is the company store. So you can see the little icon that it's a bookmark, and the actual Power App is embedded on the page. And watch this. Isn't that cool? When I click to open the app, it just pulls it up in front of the search results. So I can literally just click through the app and do what I'm doing and look through my company store, and I'm still on my search results page.
That's incredible.
Isn't that awesome?
That's really good. Yeah.
So I know. So that's what do you all think? That's pretty cool, right? So that is the result of what we're doing. There's no way this will last an hour. There's no way, Joelle. It's always funny.
You say that every time. Every time you say this.
Okay. So what you need to do now, in Power Hour, we always talk about how we're not admins, but this is something you have to set up in the admin center. You have to be able to do this and go to the admin center. Now, I'm not sure off the top of my head which specific admin role you need to have. Maybe there's one called search admin, but I'm a global admin, so I'm going to go do that. And I'm sure in the detailed instructions, it lists what role you need to have to be able to do that. So this is what we're showing. We're showing what bookmarks are and how to add them and how to embed a Power App. Is your mind blown, everyone? Isn't that cool? That's fun. Okay, so I'm going to go to the Search Center, Admin Center, and then this thing it's been very slow today for some reason. So I'm going to start off just on my home screen, and I'm going to go to all admin centers here, and then when I go to all admin centers, then I'm going to go to Microsoft Search. So that's I'm sure there are 15 different ways to get there, but that's how I'm going to show you to get. So it looks like it's also under settings. It takes me to under settings. Microsoft Search is also directly under there. So that's another way to get to the Search Admin Center. And again, it's been really slow today for some reason. So now I am not a search guru. So my friend Agnes has this her whole online course company. She's the search guru. That's what she does. That is her whole thing, is search. So I'm going to put this in the chat just to have it out there. I'll put it in the general channel to go check out her Mastering Microsoft Search course, because again, I am not a search guru. I am just showing you this one little specific thing, and I know nothing. So I know nothing. I'm just kind of paring it down and just showing you like 1 hour. She teaches an entire class about it. It's awesome. So this is not, you'll learn way more than what I'm showing you in her class. But here's the first thing I go to as I'm on Microsoft Search page, and then I don't have anything listed here as far as my top searches. I don't have any information in it. Of course, this is a demo tenant, so I don't have a bunch of people searching for things. But I also have this, so I have this concept of answers, and under answers, I have bookmarks. And then bookmarks is where I go. So I go to the answers tab and then go to bookmarks. And then once I'm on bookmarks, this is how I can add a bookmark. So what do I want to add a bookmark to? I need to go to my Power App, to my list of Power Apps, and figure out which Power App that I want to show a bookmark to. So I've got, again, this is a whole bunch of demo apps and things like that. So I'm just going to go find one that says goal tracking. So there's my goal tracking app, and I'm going to go to my little detail screen. So this is what I need. When I go to the app and I go to the detail screen, this screen is what I need to be able to get what I need for the search for the bookmark. So I right click on the web link and I save that, copy that address, and then I go back over to my search little thing here, and I add a bookmark. Okay, so this is really neat too. So you saw what the bookmark looked like in my search results when I was doing the search. As you create your bookmark, it shows you what it's going to look like. How about that, Joelle? Like in the old days, you had to do like this whole big ugly thing with code, and it was not fun, right? To create those little display templates and stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they were really annoying.
So I'm going to say what I want the name of it to be, what I want the big title to be, and then the URL, and that's where I paste the URL to my app because I need to be able to click on it to open the app. And then a description. So this is where you can track your goals. Obviously, I can put a much longer description in here. Instead of typing a whole bunch, I'm just going to kind of like fill this up a little bit. You can put a much longer description of your app in this little bookmark description. And then these are your keywords, the keywords that people are going to use. Goal tracking, like goals. I don't know, tracking, track goals. A lot of the synonym stuff, search is probably already going to know. Is it, Joelle, maybe? It's kind of got some built-in, like just like a search engine where it knows synonyms for things. So you can type just all the keywords that are associated with your app. Like if it's my travel request form, I'm going to type traveling, travel request, travel form, request form, and things like that for people to be able to go find that. And then reserved keywords. This is, I don't remember, Joelle, do you remember if the concept of reserved keywords existed before?
I don't think so.
It was like, this is the keyword that you want that nothing else can use. Like this one thing that they type will be what takes you to this result, and it's reserved.
Oh, yeah. They didn't call it that, but there was something similar where you basically had, like, if they type this exact thing, it takes you
It means you
to
want
them.
to
So
ensure that the bookmark shows for a specific keyword and it overrides all other keywords. For example, time off, like if you have a time off app. And that's what I was just reading from Bill's blog post. And then I wonder, I should have probably mentioned him on Twitter to let him know I was doing this. All right, so that's what your reserved keywords. And then categories, the category has nothing to do with the search results. It has to do with just you, the admin, organizing all of your keywords here in this screen. So it will just help you, like you end up with this long list of keywords. I could create a category called apps maybe. And then as I'm looking through this whole list, trying to sort through and organize my bookmarks, sorry, I said keywords, my bookmarks, then it helps me organize my bookmarks. And then this is cool. I think we did have the concept of dates, of publishing things for certain dates with the promoted results. But you can say, like, if you have a certain promotion, a certain event that's associated with, you can just put a date in here so that it has a certain start and end date. And then you can even target this to certain countries and regions. So that's if you're a global company and you have people working from all over the world and you only want this app to show for people in a certain region. This is for groups. So you're able to target groups. Now, Bill mentioned that this is for security groups. So I don't think it's going to be Microsoft 365, like Office 365 groups. But this is where you can target to a group. This is to target to specific devices. You can look at this. You can say only if people are searching for this on Windows or iOS or whatever, if you want to. And then targeted variations. You can target it to different users based on the user's device and location. So what is a variation, Joelle? Do you remember that concept from previous versions of SharePoint? Is variations, was that you? Wasn't that
so typically,
yeah.
Typically page variations are like language related.
Yeah.
So you would have like a variation of like, so you have like the English page and then a variation of that in a different language. So I'm assuming that's what they're talking about.
Oh yeah, look at that. So with variations, I think that with a Power App, maybe the best thing to say that would be doing was with a Power App, you could have it taking you to a completely different Power App. You can have, like, for certain people, like if people are on an iOS device and I have an iOS and like a phone size version of this app, and I have a specific, like, that one's made for people using phones, that version of the app, I could target that to people that are searching for this app just on their phones, and then then I would give them the URL to that app. And then I can give people on a desktop, I can give them a completely different app. But you could also do, like, you can do parameters in your query string URL. You can do URL parameters in Power Apps. So potentially you could say, if people are on a different operating system or if they're in a different location, to give them a different parameter. Maybe I have a certain screen in my app that I want people in France to see, and I could use a parameter and send them straight to that screen and put the parameter in this URL. So you can use these different combinations of devices and OSs and the region where the person is to provide them a specific different app or a different parameter to your app. So that's pretty powerful, right? And different descriptions and everything. I mean, you can give them the same URL and just a different title. Like, what if they call time off, like a vacation request, we call it vacation in the United States, and they call it something else in a different country? You could just make the bookmark say something else and just still go to the same app. So a lot of possibilities there, right?
Yeah. Suzanne asked, is there a way to provide this bookmark functionality to a specific site collection that is tied to a team? There would be. I mean, you would just the link would be the site collection, the site URL.
Oh, yeah, instead of a Power App. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you can link
And
to
then
documents, you can link to
yeah, that's just the
specific
first thing
things.
that I happen to be showing is linking to a Power App. But um, in search, just remember that when people are searching in SharePoint or in Microsoft 365, they're only going to see things in their search results that they have access to. So just as when it comes to SharePoint content, sites and files and things, if they don't have
OneDrive,
access
everything.
to a file, it's not even going to be listed at all. They're not going to see it. It doesn't exist to them. So just keep that in mind too, that it's going to be based on permissions. So you can do variations, and then you can, this is the Power App part. So here's where I need the app ID. So then I'm back on this screen where I went and got the web link. I also need to get the app ID. So go copy that and then go back over here and paste my app ID and publish it. So that is my goal tracking bookmark. And then I did another one that was like an org chart. Let me see if I can go find that. So org chart. Maybe I didn't. Let's see. Exit search. I'm not sure how long these take to go into effect too, so let me refresh that. Where did I call it? Org browser. No, let me see. No, I didn't post that one. All right. I was playing around with this in multiple tenants this morning too. Okay, so those are all my Power Apps. Go back to search. And then let me get this to refresh. I sat on that screen for so long. Okay, so goal tracking is the one I just posted. I had company store. And then, so you can see that this is just a big long list. So once I start adding categories to things, that's going to really help me organize them. So if I go edit this other one and I put it in a category of apps, so now, oops, I put a new one instead of editing this existing one. Let me see. Ooh, that's weird. I clicked on one and it didn't bring up the one that I clicked on. It just brought me to a blank screen. When in doubt, refresh, right? Hold on, the page, it's on its way. Okay, so you can do, now the concepts, some of these concepts that we're talking about with bookmarks, when you go to this, this link that I sent you with planning, with bookmarks and search and planning, there's a whole school of thought around planning for search, right, Joelle? Have you ever had to do like this kind of like sit down and plan what your bookmarks are going to be and what's going to come up in search results and stuff like that?
Not with the new search, but with the old search for sure. Yeah, I mean, I've built a few giant intranets that were completely search based, like everything ran off of search. So definitely.
Yeah. So, so somebody was asking about, promoting a certain SharePoint site. So that's only the tip of the iceberg. I mean, you can have it goes through in this entire document, and Agnes teaches this kind of stuff in her search class. Search Explained, that it teaches all just what you do and how to talk to the business, get them together, get your key people from different parts of your business together to plan out all the different things that you can set up in search. So it helps to know what's possible in search, even if you're not an admin, to know kind of what to ask for as far as, if you have a friend that's an admin and you want to get things added that are bookmarks, kind of what to this process of planning to go through to plan out your bookmarks. All right, so yeah, that page is just taking a while, isn't it? All right, there we go, bookmarks. We also have, there are a few other concepts in here. I'm not going to go into floor plans or locations, but if you have different locations and floor plans for your company, it actually has a whole interactive little wizard where you can select your building and add your floor plan, which is pretty cool, which makes it so that people can find things, I guess. I don't know. And then it has a Q&A concept. And Q&A, again, I don't know why this screen has taken so long to come up, but it gives you the concept of building out, instead of somebody just typing a word as a question when they're searching for something, for them to be able to ask in English, like ask a question. So that sounds exhausting though, right? Sitting there and having to type all those questions and answers. It's got a browser extension that you can install. So there's a link, and I put the link in the general channel, just in the list of posts in Teams. And it's a Chrome extension. I got the link from that Microsoft documentation to this Chrome extension that you can add. But I went ahead and added this Chrome extension. So I want to show you a couple of things. I want to show you how you can do the Q&A. So let's see if it ever pulls up the Q&A that I already added. It says it's loading my list. So when you install this Chrome extension, I'm going to go to my own web page here. So I'm going to go to, this is our website, iwmentor.com. We have all these different subscription plans, and we have a Q&A here. We have a FAQ on the page. So you might have some of these, people build these a lot in SharePoint, don't they, Joelle? On their pages, like different departments. So your different department pages and things like that in SharePoint might have these. So this is just the quickest one that I already have built that I know of. It doesn't matter where your FAQ is. It can be on a regular web page. It can be in your own SharePoint environment or wherever. You just need to go to that page. So then you can click this little, once you've installed that browser extension that I sent you the link to. It takes a second for this to come up, this little prompt right here. It's a little buggy, but it's really cool once it comes up. I might have to refresh the screen though. everything today with logging into the search center and searching and things, it's all really slow for some reason. It's just been like that all morning. But it'll be really neat if this will actually work and come up. Just gonna click it 800 times. I wonder if that other screen ever came up. Alrighty. Do you have any chat going on? Let's see. Anybody ask anything? I can't tell.
No, I think there's a conversation going on about the message center planner thing, but that's about it.
I wish that thing would come up. I feel like I need to close my browser and open it again. Let me try that. Come on. It's very slow, but it's right here. See, it says it's Microsoft Search Content Creator. It's the content creator, and it takes a minute, and it actually prompts you to log into Office 365, and you have to be an admin though. But I think maybe this is so
it must
slow
be. I think it's causing you to lag.
It is
on your video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me close some things. Okay. Here's the extension itself. Just FYI, can you see that on my screen? Did it smooth out a little bit? Man, so that one little Chrome extension, me trying to click on it, slowed my whole video down.
Indeed it did.
Nice. Well, I finished showing what I was going to show. It definitely didn't last an hour. It lasted 29 minutes. Okay. So there's the Chrome browser. Let me see if I can. So I added this one here, and I need to go to my extensions, manage my extensions, and go to my search content creator here, and I want to put it up there. Where did it go? I'm just being ridiculous. I don't know. Oh, anyway, I don't know why the extension won't. I just kind of wanted to pin it to the top, but I'm trying to get it to click on here. Oh, there we go. There we go. It took a minute. Do you see that? Should I wait for everybody to catch up? Can you all see that now? It probably takes a few seconds, but P. Dewey said stop clicking. Okay, I stopped clicking and it came up now. It just took like 5 minutes, all right? Okay, Matt said better now. All that clicking.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to keep talking. Just let me know what they say, okay?
All right.
Good times with a live demo. Okay, so here's this little interactive screen comes up. So it looks at the page that I'm on, and it's got 2 tabs. So by default, you're going to have this tab. It'll say Add Bookmark. And so I can add a bookmark from here. So this is really, so think about this just concept of adding bookmarks. So you can go to SharePoint, and if you have specific pages or libraries or just any locations in SharePoint that you want to show in your search results and have be like promoted in certain keywords and things like that, you can just navigate to those pages and use this little extension and then click to add the bookmark. And look at that, it's already got it's got the title of it, it's got the URL, it's got the whole description, keywords, and it's got everything filled in for you to create your new bookmark. So this is a really fast way to create bookmarks. So I highly recommend it. So instead of having to go to the admin center, to the bookmark screen and click add and manually type all that, if you have pages that already exist, you just go to the page and use this extension. Now, of course, this is not going to work with a Power App because a Power App doesn't have a built-in, it doesn't have, I don't know, I don't think it's going to work if you just directly went to a Power App and tried to do this. But this is a fast way for web pages. So I could just click publish, but if I have a Q&A on the page, now if you go to a page that doesn't have any Q&As on it, it will just say we couldn't find any Q&As on this page. So probably that's why it took a minute for when I click the little content, the search content little browser extension. That's probably why it took a minute to sign in, because it was actually assessing the whole page and looking to see if it had bookmarks, and it was logging me to the admin center, and it was creating all these little Q&As on this screen, all just from me clicking on it. So look at this. It found all the Q&As on the page, and look at this, Q&A 1, 2, 3, 4. Isn't that cool, Joelle? So think about all of the, oh, it went away. Think about all the different like departmental pages and things like that that you have in SharePoint, where you want, like if somebody's asking questions that might be for your help desk or questions that might be for HR, and if you have a Q&A on your HR site that that you've already built on the page, you can point this little content creator to it, and then just it will just read the page and pre-populate all the Q&As, and then you just click publish, and then you have Q&As there in your list. So that seems really like cool. A really fast, efficient way to do it. All right, I'm going to close off of that screen. Let's see if I can go back to the admin center. Did we have any questions other than the fact that it was buffering? Let's see.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, so Susan, you can see the post, only see the conversation pane next to the video. I think she's talking about in Teams, Valerie.
Yeah, she is.
About the conversation. What?
I think I'm not sure if she knows that to just click at the tab at the top, maybe?
Yeah, just click the little
should look
conversation
like this
button at the top, like there. Anyway.
Yeah, and then you hit play on the video and watch the conversation.
So the admin center is really slow. I don't know if I want to taunt it too much, but so let's go ahead and let's look at some. It actually comes with a bunch of bookmarks. Did you notice that when I went to the bookmark screen? I hadn't created all those myself. It comes with a bunch of built-in ones. So it's got, I guess, built-in things for things that people search for. like help with
Commerce.
SharePoint, Office products, stuff like that. And it's just got them in there. And that's a really just quick, easy way so that users just using Office 365 for the first time, even if you haven't set anything up in your tenant, it'll have help information for them, just at least taking them to the Microsoft support pages for whatever they need support for. But this is really slow. I don't know what else to do about
The
it.
Chrome, that's extensions for Chrome and Edge, right?
Yes. And so what you do is you go to Edge and you go to that same link that I sent you in the chat to go about the extension. And then when you click to install it in Edge, it just says allow Edge to install Chrome extensions or something like that. You just have to allow Edge to install it. And then, yeah, the extension is for Edge and Chrome. So I wonder if I go to this same thing in Chrome, if Edge is going to be any faster. That'll be interesting to know. I'm not sure. So that was pretty much it. That was really just me going through creating a bookmark and showing you how to make it show a Power App in it. I told you it was going to be fast. Okay, let me go to my admin center here, see if it's faster in Edge. So were you all intrigued now? Is there anybody that didn't know that you could do all that and control search that way? And do that much configuration in your search results? Is this new? Because those of us that use SharePoint for years, I mean, this is, and had SharePoint servers, this is one of those things that just, it's always been there. The concepts have always been there. So it's not really a new concept, but I'm sure there are a lot of people that are new to Microsoft 365 that weren't even aware that you can customize search. So let's see, Joelle, what are some of the like search customization things that, when it comes to, I don't know, anything in search that you had to customize in the old way? I know you did a ton of that, way more than I did.
Yeah, I guess what I couldn't see clearly because my screen's a little bit different than what they're seeing, but I know we were talking about like links to apps and sites, but do they have like links to content specifically in the bookmark? Like, can you put in content types or anything like that? Any kind of manage metadata or anything when you were in the bookmark creation? I couldn't see.
Let me see. This one seems like it's faster. Well, it's gonna have, I'm not sure kind of what the equivalent would be. Can you see my screen now? So I'm not sure what the equivalent would be, but
yeah, see, promoted results, that's, I mean, no offense to the blog writer, but that is something that promoted results did have, which was the ability to kind of actually pull in specific types of content and like roll them up instead of just having, you know, a link. Because right here it looks like it's just a link, right? It's hard for, I can't, my screen is blurry, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, so that's the one thing I would say, like, is probably, I don't know if there's another way to accomplish that. I guess that's something that we could look at Agnes's content to see.
So when somebody typed a search word, you wanted to roll up just something that
yeah, like you have a content type for policies and you use that all over your tenant.
Okay.
Like you use that all over your SharePoint sites where people load policies in on their site and they tag it with a policy, or tags too, like metadata. And then in the promoted results, you could actually query for that. You could write a query that would, when somebody searches the word policy, it pulls these policies, you know, accordingly or whatever. Like you could do those kind of things. So that's one thing I'm not sure if there's a way to accomplish that kind of thing in the new way.
That's a good question.
But certainly with links, I mean, you could do links to, if you have like a forms portal where you have a link to all your forms, you could do a link to that. If they search for form, you could, I mean, even if you already are rolling up policies with on a page somewhere with highlighted content, like you taught last week, then you could have a page that points to, you know, you could have a link that points to that instead of trying to do it in the search results. So, yeah, so there's just a lot of different options. But that would be the one thing I would see that's different.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I don't know enough about search to even know whether to tell you, oh yeah, well they created XYZ and it's a new way to do that. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but yeah, that's
Yeah, I
That's a good
haven't seen
point.
that yet, but it's something that might be, maybe it's coming. Maybe it's something they'll
Um,
add like a query option.
I think this whole ability to target things to groups and have targeted variations, that seems new. Let's see. Let me go to the chat and go to that link that I posted. Pull up Bill's blog post again.
Yeah, I think that is new.
He has a whole chart. Oh yeah. So the targeting by country, language, group, OS, the targeted variations is new, and
Yeah, all the language stuff is so much easier now. Oh my goodness. I just remember people in classic SharePoint investing so much money in like multilingual things, and so
yeah.
that stuff's a lot easier.
So his whole blog, I think since he moved from the SharePoint team to the search team, his whole blog, I recommend following him because if you're interested in search, um, see here's all the whole thing about answers. Anyway, so he blogs all about all the cool things you can do in Microsoft Search, and so does Agnes. So I'll go to Search Explain. She's a consultant and trainer like me, and Bill actually works at Microsoft and is on the search team. So this is though that link that I put in the chat to mastering to Search Explained, and that's her, and she's got a blog about search. All right, let's see. Go back to my other tab here, the Admin Center. Okay, adding a bookmark. Let's see if my Q&A ever populated in here. Oh, there we go. So when I clicked on that Q&A, each question was listed, and remember I was toggling 1 through 4. Each one was listed, and each one had a publish button at the bottom of it. So I only clicked publish on 2 of them, so only 2 of them show here. So let's go click on one of the Q&As and see. So this gives you a really nice, now again, I think the clicking on things in here is broken because just like in the bookmarks, I clicked on one and it didn't pull it up on the side. It just pulled up a blank new one. And same thing with the Q&A. So it gives you a nice rich interface here, this little rich text box, to be able to have nice pretty Q&As that have bolds and colors and things like that and rich text in your questions and answers. So that's definitely a difference.
Yeah, those are really cool too because I've tested those out where you like search that question and you search that and it like pulls up this nice little like interface in your search results. It's pretty.
Yeah, let me go see.
Like I did that even from like Bing, like where you go to Bing and like you
yeah,
can
let's
see like
Bing.
you know.
See, it's got me logged into my other tenant when I do that though. So I've
Yeah.
got so many tenants, it's just like, ugh. I'll just go to my main, go in here, and I'll search for what is the difference. What if they just type what is the difference? Does it? It's just like, oh yeah, look at that. So I typed what is the difference, and there's my Q&A. It just pops up right up at the top of the screen, and then it takes me to that web page. Pretty cool. And it pulls it up in a different browser tab too. So, but it's got the entire text of the link and it tells you what page it's on and the entire text that it pulled in as my answer right there. So I don't even have to click on the link. I can just read the whole thing right there. So think about kind of when you're doing Q&As, think about questions like full sentence questions that people might be asking, like what are my benefits, or what products that we sell that you can attach to the back of tractors. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like whatever your business happens to be, that's part of that exercise of determining what your employees are going to be searching for in your tenant.
Yeah, the locations one is really cool too. There's a locations option, and you can set that all up if you have like a lot of locations with field people and stuff like that. That's super helpful, so they can quickly get location information without having to go dig through your intranet site.
Nice. Yeah, and it looks like the address isn't even a required field, so I could say Birmingham. That's where I am. And that, of course, that's in the USA. Let me see. I got to do the drop-down box. Are you all, is everybody like inspired to go set up their search now, Microsoft Search in their tenant, hopefully?
I want to dig into that. I see there's a customizations tab now, and I kind of want to know more about that. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
Oh, in here? Oh, yeah. Result types. Maybe that's what that is that you're
Yeah,
name
maybe.
the result types. So policies.
Looks like the old way.
Select a content source. Oh, you have to have connectors. See, it says you don't have any
Interesting.
connectors yet. So, see, I don't know what any of this is, though. That's
Yeah,
connectors.
that might be a good thing to dig in though for a future power.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, I can
definitely.
look into
So, Joelle's going to be right on that.
that.
Go add a connector. So, maybe you have to add a connector to SharePoint and add a connector to. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure what the connectors are for. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's why I just narrowed this power hour down to say it was just going to be about bookmarks. So we're just doing bookmarks.
Yeah, but bookmarks are extremely helpful just in
Yeah.
that, just linking to specific pages and sites and apps and things like that.
Yeah.
That's really
So
helpful.
here's goal tracking, the one that I just created when we first started. So I'll just say like goal. And look at that. I say goals. It opens. There's the goal tracking app that we were talking about right when we started Power Hour. And it opens this. Now, this is not a responsive app. So it opens it kind of small, but it opens it in the middle of the page. That other one that I did, the store, I'll build that in a more responsive way. So that one opens and it's kind of more aware of where it is on the screen, that kind of thing. What else was in my bookmarks?
And Paul was asking, does it take a while to generate? Just a few minutes, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure the exact amount of time, but I just created goal tracking 26 minutes ago, and it's already showing in the results. So,
Yeah, I want to say like most of the search stuff is like 5 to 10 minutes from my experience,
nice.
if sometimes less.
Here's one that I created off of a blog post that I wrote. So I went to my blog post, navigated to it in the browser, and went to that little extension, and then just the bookmark filled in, and I just clicked publish. And so now when I go do a search, let's see, flow matching file name and library, flow matching. So I'll just type flow matching. Let's see. Let's see. No, that one's not showing. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I did wrong on that one. Maybe I didn't publish it. See, when I click on them, it doesn't come up. So, yeah. But again, as you can see, you have a whole bunch of built-in ones for anything that people might be searching having to do with any of these products that exist just in Office 365. So those are the built-in ones. And then acronyms is going to be, so a lot of the times people have companies like customers that they deal with and partners that they deal with that the company has acronyms. So like IWM could be an acronym for IW Mentor. Have you seen that in your customers, like environments where they use like just different ways of referring to the same company or customer?
Yeah, yeah. And like the whole synonym thing and the term store, kind of like for when they were tagging that stuff, you could do like that. It's kind of like that in a way.
Yeah, so you could even import an entire list of acronyms. And so I created IWM. So what is that going to do when I search for something with IWM in it? Let's see. No, I'm not sure. See, I'm not sure what that's supposed to do, though. Do you know? Oh, well, that came up. That's not the right thing, though. Sites. Nope. So yeah, no, I just created that one too. So I'm not sure if it's not coming up. So again, I'm not sure what that is. Bookmarks. We got bookmarks though. Now that would be kind of fun to start creating all the different bookmarks that are targeted to different groups of people and things. So what I'll do is I'll look at that concept of the groups here and search. So it specifically says search security groups. So I'll type like all students. So all students is a security group, but it's not an Office 365 group. So you're not going to be able to search through like distribution lists and Office 365 groups. So it does have to be a security group for it to be targeted in there. But if I create a bookmark and say all students, then only people in that group will see that bookmark in their search results when they're doing a search. Pretty cool. All right,
Really
I'll
cool.
flip back over to the questions. Let's see. Oops. Yeah, it goes faster when I stop clicking. Yeah, so somebody was asking about hiding the site from search results. Well, again, just one way is if you just don't give people access to the site, then they won't see it in search results, right, Joelle? I mean, just it doesn't exist if they don't have access. So you want to hide the whole thing.
I think the example was they actually do have access because it's like the Power Up data, like the list data. But what Danny responded is the way you would do that, which is the site settings and hide the whole site. Okay, and so it just wouldn't appear.
Information, view all site settings. And then that was where?
I think it's in the search area or the site administration. Sorry, when I look at your screen, it's blurry, so I have to look at it on YouTube.
Sorry.
That's all right. It's not like that on YouTube, so that's all that matters. But it should be something about search and offline availability. See that?
No, that's not it.
Yeah, I can't remember. I have to pull up a site.
Yeah, search and offline availability. Okay, here it is. Okay. Yeah. So if everybody has access in the whole company, they have access to the site, you just don't want it to show in search results, you can just change this to no. And that is in site settings, search and offline availability for that site. Allow the site to appear in search results and change it to no. And then allow items from the site to be downloaded to offline clients. You can change that to no.
Yep.
You can also do that for specific lists and libraries. So if I want, I can go to some library. I'll go to settings. This is in list and libraries. You can go to advanced settings and then allow items from this document library to appear in search results. You can change that to no. So if you don't want even if they have access to it, you don't want the items in this list or library to show listed in search results. You can change this to no. So this is one of those things that in my blog post that I wrote about creating a Power App as a front end to a SharePoint list, but not sending people to the SharePoint list ever. They're only interacting with it through the Power App. This is one of the concepts that I talked about in there, to where you could just go to the list settings, and because one way that people could get to list items would be through search results. It would just show in the list of search results. So you can change this to no, so that no one is ever going to accidentally get to those specific list items just when they're doing a search for something. So that's how to hide one list or library. So it shows you how to hide a site and then how to hide a list or library. All right, I'll go back to... So just in general, you all take, if you're interested in kind of thinking through what kind of interesting things you might want to promote at the top of search results in your company, and just the fact that you do have the ability to do this, take a look at those Microsoft documents and take a look at searchexplain.com, because there's an entire school of thought, some people have an entire person, like full-time employee, whose job it is to configure search in their company. So this is a big thing. So there's a lot of planning you could potentially do. Of course, if you're just a small company, you can probably think off the top of your head, like some of the main things that you would want people to be able to go find easily in your environment. But if you're a big company, get the right people together and discuss what the content is. And it also helps to look at what people search for often, doesn't it, Joelle? Like look through, there's a way to look at what people are searching for. I don't know necessarily how. There was an old way that you could get to that screen, but I don't know off the top of my head.
But even just with the site usage, you can kind of see the things that are most popular and make those more relevant in search.
Yeah. And I feel like on that main screen in search where it says popular searches or something like that, that you're supposed to see that information there. So I'm not,
Yeah.
there must be something that I'm missing, but is the more data you can get about what people are searching for in your company, the better you'll know kind of what things that you might want to say, oh, well, people are typing this, but they're really looking for this, and kind of guiding them to the right
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, those reports are still there. I'm not sure how relevant they are to the new search, but I know that they are there in your site settings behind the scenes.
Yeah, I feel like
The
it
search
used to be in the
analytics.
search admin center. You would go to the search admin center and you would go
But you can do it
to,
right from your site collection even. Like if you want to just see it on a specific site collection
oh,
what's
yeah.
returning, you can that's like an option
Oh, yeah.
behind the scenes in site settings.
All right. Well, let's see. Thanks, everybody. I know that was a very simple, it only took me like 5 minutes to show you the main thing that I was showing you with the Power App, but that was a fun one, and we almost stretched it to an hour, unbelievably. So, yeah, and when people are using Bing at work and they're logged into your tenant, just when they're searching in Bing, the search results from your organization are showing there. So that's pretty huge too. If you guys haven't noticed that, that you'll notice your company logo and everything on the Bing page, and you'll see your own company content on the Bing page when you're searching for stuff. So yeah, that's where those are also going to show in Bing, not just in SharePoint when people are doing searches. So yeah.
Yep.
Susan said, where are the links to the document links? If you go over to the posts tab in Teams, I posted them on there on that main area on the general channel. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good afternoon. See you next time. Well, I think we're skipping a couple of weeks. And also I put a link in the newsletter. I'm speaking at the TEC, it's called the Experts Conference, put on by Quest, and I put a link to that. I'll get a link and put it in the chat window, but that is November 17th. But anyway, I put that link to that in the newsletter. I'll put a link in the chat, but I'm going to be speaking at that. It was going to be an in-person conference. It's a virtual conference, though. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
I'm not sure how long we're supposed to wait.